Hello everyone, and welcome back to another YouTube video. Yeah, so I am back with another draft analysis-ish. I guess not really an analysis, I guess, because I have no idea what I'm doing. Since this is an Infinite Fusions draft league, but I do hope to be back with NCL stuff again next season. It is my plan to start doing videos like that again, and this is just me starting to get back into it a bit. But yeah, so I'm joining just a small friends league thing when we're doing Infinite Fusion League this time around, which seems kind of interesting and fun. Could be fun. Basically, like all the things are in tiers, and you draft them. You know what a draft league's like, right? But yeah, we'll have a look at the team that I drafted, and you can see if I actually have any chance at all. I mean, there's a lot of strong combinations, but who knows if I have the capabilities to be able to use them very well. But anyway, I did have first pick, and I have no idea if my first pick was any good or not, but it was one of the first things that came to my mind. We've got Arcanine and Tyrantrum as the combination. Decent stats. I feel like. I don't know why Tyrantrum was so highly ranked in the tiers, and Arcanine was still decently ranked as well. But either way, like a lot of utility in this mon. We got Intimidate, Strong Jaw, Flash Fire, Rockhead, and Justified, all as different abilities. Stat wise, overall, Arcanine as the head and Tyrantrum as the body seem to have a higher base stat total, while also having more HP, more attack, more defense, more special attack, more special defense, and less speed overall. But also the Fire Dragon type. I feel like this would make a pretty decent defensive mon with some offensive utility. Can run Intimidate or Flash Fire or whatever. Lots of cool moves in this combination as well. Extreme Speed is always nice. Flame Charge. But yeah, like it still gets Morning Sun. It's stuff like that. So Fire Dragon, Morning Sun. Well, it gets Play Rough. That's nice. Like obviously, it gets a lot of the combinations of both of these Pokemon's move balls, which is cool. But also the reason that I drafted this in the first place was for Rockhead. Look, Rock Fire type. Let's get Dragon Dance, and then you can do things like Flare Blitz and Head Smash. So you get those stab boosts with Dragon Dance, and also things like Wild Charge, I guess, for coverage against water types and stuff like that. I feel like that could be a pretty decent offensive threat. Can run it Jolly or Adamant or whatever. But yeah, there's a few different things that this thing can do. Like, I think it gets like, yeah, Stealth Rocks and stuff like that. So even a defensive, let's say, Stealth Rocks, Morning Sun. I don't know. What do we want? I guess we could just put like Earthquake, Firefang, lots of coverage as well, depending on the threats that my opponent might have. So, or even if we want to phase stuff out, we got Roar, Stealth Rock, Morning Sun, Roar, and then an offensive move. Yeah, could be a decently defensive mon as well. So it's got the possibility for being both offensive and defensive as well. So I like it. I like it. I don't know if it's necessarily first pick worthy, but there was, I feel like, a good chance that both of these guys might not have made it back to me. Tyrantrum maybe, but Arcanine maybe not. So I picked it up when I picked it up for that reason. Next up, I wanted my boy Ninjask back, but also I was looking for a good combination to bring it back with as well. And I came across Rhyperior when I was trying to figure out some stuff to do, and like gave it a huge attack boost. And it makes it like quite defensive as well, while still having a decently okay speed, especially speed boost. 80 speed is fine, right? Bug rock type, but also it can be a ground flying type with super speed, and like good HP. It loses a lot in its defenses there, but or at least in its defense. But yeah, speed boost, like lightning rod, don't really need because it's could be ground flying. Solid rock could be interesting, but I think keeping it speed boost most of the time is going to be the best bet. It does get heat crash as a fusion only expert move, but I mean I don't know how heavy it is compared to other things, so likeliness of using that is not super high. But yeah, I think this overall is a pretty good combination to have with Ninjask. Offers a lot of coverage on the physical side, and the moves that Ninjask wouldn't normally get, which is pretty cool. Pretty happy with this pickup. Obviously, heavy duty boots are not a thing in this. I think it uses mostly stuff up to Gen 7 currently. So, I mean, luckily, ground flying becomes neutral to rocks. Bug rock, I can't remember off the top of my head if that is neutral or still rock is super effective against, but either way, it's not 4 times effective anymore at the very least, so that's very cool. So yeah, this can definitely be a bit of a cleanup crew, late game sweeper, depending, but also can still have stealth rocks. We got removal at least. Yeah, so pretty decent combination so far, though we've got a lot of rock types at the moment, more than I would normally draft in a team. Lucky if I even take one normally. But yeah, next up our third Pokemon is Lantern and Gardevoir. So we've got a Water Fairy type or a Psychic Electric type. Both are pretty cool typings, if you ask me. A bit of a specially defensive Pokemon here, or lots of HP for those fat wishes as well, which is nice. But also one of the best things of this combination is it does get Tail Glow and Parabolic Charge. So if we want a Psychic Electric, Tail Glow up, Parabolic Charge can heal on things that we're attacking. Even a Fluid Cannon, Tail Glow up, use a Fluid Cannon and still be +1 special attack, which is pretty cool. Yeah, so I can see this being a very heavy hitter, but also being some nice utility with wishes and all that fun stuff, which is pretty cool. I don't mind that at all. Next up, we've got a bit more of a defensive mon. A really defensive mon in Fortress and Pyukumuku. So obviously we've got the Unaware, so that if people want to try and start setting up on us, we do have something to be able to deal with that. And as you can probably see in this, there are a lot of things that can set up, because most combinations will have something that at least one of them would be able to set up with. And so yeah, obviously set up on stuff is quite a worry. We got Overcoat for things like Spore and stuff like that, which is also very nice as well, because there are some combinations here where you can get like Prankster Spore or all that kind of fun stuff. So having that as a backup there is quite nice too. But this thing is quite bulky. HP stat leaves a little bit to be desired, but on a water steel type with those kinds of defenses is not too terrible. Or there's the bug water type, which doesn't have a little it doesn't have a little sprite, unfortunately, but some of these have more than one sprite, which is nice. Can choose which one you want to use. But yeah, good thing about it does get Shell Trap. And not that that really matters, is its attack is higher than its special attack, but who knows, you could catch something off guard with that, I guess. But yeah, we still get the Volt Switch so that we can switch out. Doesn't get U-turn. Neither Fortress or Pyukumuku do, but yeah, having Volt Switch is nice to be able to switch out, predict something else switching out, and gain some momentum like that. But like Pain Split, Memento could be fun. Does get screens. Obviously it gets Stealth Rocks, Rapid Spin as well, so we got some hazards and hazard control, which is always nice. It does get Baton Pass, okay. We can Dry Pass in this. I can't Baton Pass stats out, but Dry Passing is cool. Spikes, Taunt, Toxic, yeah, Toxic Spikes. Lots of cool stuff that makes this a nice defensive utility mon. And glad to have it on my team. Next up, we've got Oricorio and Hydreigon. Now, the good thing about this is do get all the Oricorio forms. So we've got Reshiram. We have the Lardis here. Zekrom and Giratina. So yeah. And also if you swap them around, you get Yveltal too, which is very cool. So we've got all the legendary dragon types that we could ever need. And then Yveltal as well. And this typing means that we do also get Oblivion Wing on this thing, which is nice for some recovery there. And even if it's not the Dark Flying type, I believe it can still use it. So that is cool. Obviously, it only then does get the 2 abilities, because neither Oricorio or Hydreigon have anything else, but Levitate, I guess, is fine. And Dancer is, who knows, there's probably a few things that can Quiver Dance. I think actually Quiver Dance goes on a lot of things in Fighting Fusion, so that, who knows, it could come in useful. But yeah, and also that does mean that we get Revelation Dance, so we still get nice stab on every single Oricorio base, every single Oricorio form, and then if we swap it around, you do get a dark type Revelation Dance that has 10 extra base power over Dark Pulse. Obviously, it loses the flinch chance, but that's not necessarily a huge deal. Stats aren't super special or anything like that, but I mean, it still gets Calm Mind and stuff like that, so nasty plot as well, I assume. Yep, which is cool. So there's definitely some utility there, some unpredictability, depending on what type I want to take with the Hydreigon Oricorio pairing, which is very nice. Next up, we got some more bulk for my team, some more support with Klefki Umbreon. So once again, another pretty defensive, not very offensive mon at all. Steel Dark or Dark Fairy, both pretty cool types, but we get that Prankster. Does give us Parting Shot. Umbreon gives Parting Shot to anything it combines with here, so Prankster Parting Shot could be nice. Prankster Wish, pretty decent Wish as well. It's not going to be as good as my Gardevoir Lantern wishes. Obviously, the base HP there not being as high, but we can Draining Kiss on stuff, which is pretty cool. Does all the things that Umbreon can do, but can do it with Prankster now, so not going to be too unhappy with that at all. And can't be Prankstered on itself because of the Dark type, which, yeah, I like it. I think this will be something that I bring a lot because it does provide a lot of momentum and ability for my other things to be able to set up and stuff like that with the Parting Shots and the Wishes, which is pretty cool. Next up, we have Klinklang and Pinsir. This is one of my lower tier picks, but I was looking at getting a Mold Breaker, because of the fact that there's a lot of things where abilities are going to be annoying on certain mons, and having a Mold Breaker might be kind of nice. But Steel Bug, so it's only weak to fire, is pretty nice. Does get where is it? Shift Gear, which is going to be very good, but also Moxie. Moxie and Shift Gear. So if this thing can get a kill off, it can get out of hand really quickly, which is very, very nice. It does also get like First Impression and Lunge if you need some priority with First Impression there, and Lunge just a decent bug stab to have. I mean, obviously it does still get X Scizor, but the Lunge being able to drop the attack could be really useful as well. It does get some Hazard and Stealth Rocks and stuff like that. Swords Dance, though Shift Gear is going to be brought on this thing most of the time out of anything else, I believe. Does get some Volt Switch as well for some momentum. Would be nice if it got U-Turn, but unfortunately that's not something that Pinsir normally gets, so that's where we're at. But yeah, a pretty interesting little bring to the team. And then after that we had Wigglytuff Dusknoir. Was it Dusknoir? Actually, no, I don't think it was Dusknoir that I took. I think it was Cofagrigus. Either way, it's a normal ghost type. Can get Spirit Shackle. Can get Perish Song. So yeah, that is definitely something that needs to be watched out for. Spirit Shackle, Perish Song, Destiny Bond, yes. Just a very annoying thing to try and deal with, honestly. Moonblast, Morning Sun for some healing, I guess. We get the Pain Split, I think. Yes, we do get the Pain Split. For some reason it gets a Relic Song, but doubt I'll use that very much. Fluid Cannon is cool. if I want to go for a big hit somewhere. But yeah, super bulky. Uh, some super bulky wishes here as well. So this is like my third useful wisher in this game, which is nice. So not unhappy with the bulk and annoyingness that my team is going to bring. Yeah, I don't know. I think this could be really fun, or I will just get set up on and destroyed. But that's why I have my unaware. And also, you got to be careful because Spirit Shackle, Perish Song, who knows? I could have Destiny Bond, protect. Could be quite fun and could stop a bunch of stuff from setting up on me in the first place. Next up, speaking of bulky and annoying, we've got Blossom and Toxapex. So we got the Regenerator out of that. Though, yeah, I think 90%, 99% of the time you'd run a Regenerator on this. 66 HP obviously is not terribly impressive, but 133 defense and 114 special defense with Regenerator on a grass water type is not bad. It gets strength sap as well. So, yep, Baneful Bunker still does even get Quiver Dance and stuff like that, as that is something that Blossom can do. So yeah, this thing is going to be very annoying. It can also be a poison grass type. So you can run that if you don't want to get spored and stuff like that itself. A bit less HP, a bit more special defense, a bit less defense. Special defense and defense kind of switch around a bit there. But yeah, it still gets things like Scold and Recover. This thing is going to be very annoying to try and kill. I can see that already, and I love it. It's absolutely terrible, and I'm sorry to my opponents. How many mons have I gone through? I think I got one left, right? And once again, I wanted to bring something back that I enjoyed or liked from previous seasons I played. I don't think any seasons that I've had on YouTube, unfortunately. But yeah, we've got Bayonet and Parasect here. I do like Bayonet. I was running Mega Bayonet in my last season of NCL, and it didn't go well for me, but it was still fun. But this is basically gonna be my Gorgeist. We got Effect Spore, Curse Body, Dry Skin, if I want to take some hits from water types. We do get the Frisk, but yeah, I think most of the time Effect Spore or Dry Skin would be what I would run on this. Obviously can also be Bug Ghost type as well. Do get some decent attacking stats out of this, and its bulk isn't the best, but it does still get like Strength Sap and Spirit Shackle. Even gets Spectral Thief, which is quite nice, interesting. But yeah, and like it just gets all the things that a Parasect and a Bayonet would. Leech Life here is nice. Pain, Split, lots of little. It does get Spore as well, which is cool. So yeah, that's basically my team. A lot of bulk, not necessarily much that is super offensive, but Tyrantrum Arcanine definitely has some breaking power, and Ninjask Rhyperior definitely has some cleanup power. Gardevoir, if it gets a tail glow up, can be super strong. It does also get Volt Absorb and Water Absorb. Synchronize, Trace, lots of very useful abilities there. Pyukumuku Fortress, Unaware, if I don't want things to set up on me. Yeah, so that's my team basically. So let me know what you think. Thank you for listening, and hopefully I will have the first round of games up in the next 2 weeks, because it works like there's 3 people in our group. We got 2 weeks to play those games, and then we take a week for FAs and stuff like that, and then we go into another group for another 2 games over that week, etc. So that's how it goes. And then I think there's like 3 weeks, and then I don't know what we're doing with playoffs or anything like that yet, but yeah, it seems like it's going to be a fun few weeks of some Fusion games, and we'll see how we go. But it's going to, yeah, definitely be very enjoyable to see how frustrated I can make my opponents with this, or if they just set up on me and sweep. Who knows? We'll see. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.